Hi everyone, it's your girl Janelle J, and welcome back to the Married to a Trucker channel. On this channel, we discuss everything about being an owner-operator and also owning your own trucking business, all from the perspective of being a trucker's wife. In this video, I'll be discussing everything you need to know about getting your IRP plates, including the costs. So stay tuned. IRP plates, or they're also called your apportioned plates, are basically a special license plate that you have to get for your semi-truck. You'll need to get your IRP plates if your vehicle is over 26,000 pounds or more and you're crossing state lines. As the part of the process of getting your own trucking authority, which is the same thing as starting your own trucking company with your own DOT and MC number, you'll need to go through the process of getting your IRP plates. Also, if you're planning on leasing on to a company using their DOT and MC number, you still have the option to get your own plates if that's what you like. If not, the company should provide some plates for you. But the benefits of getting your own plates when you're leased on to another company is that you get to take those plates with you if you decide to switch companies. So as I mentioned, your IRP plate is different from your license plate that you would get for your car. It's a plate specifically for commercial vehicles, and most of your local DMVs and auto tags places, they can't provide this. There are specific auto tag places that work with commercial plates. Every state is different, but typically you can do a search for apportioned plates in your area and you'll see the places near you that do that. The first step of the process is to complete the specific application for your state. So you can either register your plates under your individual name or your corporation's name. I would say, to make things simpler, put the application name in whoever owns the truck. So the name that matches the name on the title. So if your title is in your name, then you put the IRP plates in your name. If the title is in your corporation's name, then you put the plates in your corporation name. They're going to ask you for a DOT number associated with your account. So of course, if you have your own DOT number, you use that. But if you are planning on leasing your truck onto another carrier, you'll have to insert that company's DOT number. Usually it's called the motor carrier responsible for safety. Next, you'll have to get your paperwork together. Paperwork typically includes proofs of residency for the name of the person on the application or the corporation. It does vary by state, but typically you'll need 3 residency documents for both the individual and the corporate side. Some of these documents can include a utility bill, your 2290 form, which is required for applications anyway, and you can also use a state or federal tax filing or mortgage document. And also for the corporation side, some additional documents you can use is your articles of incorporation or your EIN verification letter. A thing to note is that, unfortunately, trucking, you cannot use a virtual address, at least for this part, because how would you provide 3 proofs of address to get your plates for a virtual address? You'll also need your proof of insurance, so not just the bobtail insurance. You'll need the full liability insurance. So again, if it is your own authority, you already have your insurance in place, so you'll put that. However, if you are planning on leasing onto another carrier, then you would have to have them put you under their insurance first before you can start this process. Also, if you are leasing onto another carrier, they will need to provide you with a signed lease agreement, basically showing that you are leasing onto them. Next is you might need a power of attorney form. So if you don't own your truck, and basically the truck is in someone else's name, so let's say you're leasing your truck instead of financing it from a company, then they have to provide you with a signed power of attorney form. And this basically authorizes you to do registration on the vehicle since they are actually the owners. The last thing you'll need is your title work. So of course you'll need the title of your vehicle. And specifically for Pennsylvania, if you do have an out-of-state title, you'll need a separate form filled out called the MV41 form. So this basically, you'll have to get your weight and the VIN verified of your truck. So you'll have to take it to a PA mechanic and have them verify your weight and VIN number, and then they'll sign the form. So basically, another tip too, if you do have a tractor trailer, you also want to put that your weight, your gross combined weight, your GCV, you want to make sure that says 80,000 pounds, because that's the maximum that your tractor and trailer can legally weigh when you go through a weight station. Another tip is that you'll want to make sure that you have the original form of everything. It cannot be a copy. So that goes for your title, your MV41 form, your power of attorney. Anything that needs to be signed has to be the original version, not a scanned copy. So as always in my videos, I like to give some insight based on me and my husband's experience. We ran into a lot of headaches getting our IRP plates. We were trying to get our trucking authority. The plates were the most difficult part and took the most amount of time. First off, we ran into issues with the power of attorney form. We just had a copy of the form from our leasing company. They sent us an email, we printed it out, we tried to take that, and of course that wasn't good because they said we need the original copy. So we had to go back to our leasing company, have them actually mail us the original copy, the original form, and that took a few additional days. And the next thing was the title of our truck. Because we were leasing a truck from Snyder Finance, it's basically their policy that they don't mail out the original title. They were only willing to give us a copy. So basically, make a long story short, after several times trying to get the original from them, that didn't work. I called several different auto tags places in the area that specifically work with the Apportioned plates. They said the same thing. It has to be the original title. I even called the main PennDOT office, which is the Department of Transportation for Pennsylvania. And the first couple of times, everyone basically kept saying the same thing. You have to have the original form. So finally, I called back for a fourth or fifth time, and I got a rep who was honest, and they said they had no idea because they're typically used to dealing with car auto tags and not the commercial plates. So she actually sent an email to the Apportioned Plates department, the department that specifically handles the commercial vehicles. So they called us back in a few days, and they confirmed that we actually don't need the original title. They were able to work with the copy. They would have to do something called make the title non-negotiable, and it costs an extra $55 for that, but we said go right ahead. But basically, we also had to go up to the main PennDOT office in Harrisburg, which was 2.5 hours from where we live. But we were happy to do it because we were just ready to kind of get this process over with. So it took a couple weeks to kind of get that finalized, but that was the final step in us getting our authority. So through a little perseverance, we were able to get it all done. And finally, I want to get to the cost of the plates. So depending on your state, the cost of the plates can vary from $1,600 to $2,200. For the first year in Pennsylvania, we paid an estimated cost of around $2,000. So when you pay for your plates, it'll be prorated depending on the time of the year you get your plates. So the plates year runs from June to May. So let's say you get your plates in June, you'll have to pay the full amount. However, let's say you get your plates in March, because there's only a few months left within that year period, you'll pay a few months worth, and then in June, you'll actually have to pay for the full year at that point. So that price is specifically for the first year. So that's just an estimate. Year 2 and beyond, the cost of their plates is actually based on the actual amount of miles that you drive through each state. So that concludes our video on IRP plates for today. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and set your bell notifications to be notified when the next video comes out. Please also comment below if you have any thoughts, comments, or questions about the IRP process. Please don't be afraid to put them down below. See you next time. Bye.